All right, what is up, you God muffins? Welcome to the video. I have 8 thoughts. Hope you're well. If you're new here, as usual, subscribe. But let's just jump into it, man. Title of the video: Are we going to get our freedoms back, boys? And I'm talking about after the old COVID-19 vaccine comes out, which Donald Trump says is supposed to be coming out in America by the end of October, end of November at the latest. And then CDC says maybe otherwise. And Canada would be like, if America has it, we're going to have it. We bought like 75 million doses from Pfizer or some big conglomerate vaccine making corporation that profits off of people being sick. I'm about to drop a lot of red pills on you in this video. But yeah, I mean, like, come on. COVID-19 is going to make these people zillions of dollars. And are we going to get our freedoms back, though, after the vaccine is given out or after this pandemic is officially over? Like, are we, like, the freedoms that have been taken away from us under the guise of, like, protecting people, when in fact the only people they really need to protect are old people and sick people? I mean, like, for example, here, I'm just going to go off the cuff here because I don't have the editing requirement skills here to throw it up on you. But here in BC and Canada, we've only had 220 people pass away from COVID. And there has not been one person under the age of 19 hospitalized even. Not forget about getting sick or dying. Hospitalized. Not one person under the age of 19 in BC with a population of 5 million people has even been hospitalized. And trust me, 19-year-olds don't give a damn. They're out partying, hanging out. Then the next age group, 20 to 40-year-olds. They have had, okay, if you're 50 and under, out of 5 million people in BC, out of a population of 5 million people, 50 years and under, we've had a total of 5 people pass away out of 5 million. That's like a point. I said to some lady because she was all hysterical. Her name was Karen. Think of that. Her name was Karen. She doesn't get the joke of her actually left her name as a Twitter Karen, talking about how these kids in school, it's so dangerous. Like, listen, no one under the age of 19 has even been to the hospital with COVID. So the schools are fine to open. Something like 25,000, last time I checked, was 25,000 university students in America, according to CDC, were diagnosed with coronavirus. Not one even went to the hospital. Not one person admitted. It's a lot of fear tactics, a lot of people involved. I'm going to talk about a bunch of stuff here, but we're going to get off on this COVID first, but then we'll get about our freedoms and the whole New World Order and the cashless society, and our freedoms have been taken away from us, and how things will never be how they used to be, and why would they be? The rich got richer than anybody else. Jeff Bezos, something like tripled his net worth. It went from something like 60 billion to 130, or not 60, that'd be double. But I think he went from 40 billion or whatever to 150 billion. That's even counting all the money he had to give his wife for the divorce, because she apparently helped him with his corporation and started Amazon. So she apparently got half his money, and he became worth like 160 billion now. And rich millionaires and billionaires have become richer during this downsize. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. The COVID thing. So 5 people in Canada, in BC, out of 5 million passed away 50 years and under. And then once it gets older, and then it starts to become exponentially worse. So old people, sick people who are really sick or frail, you know, it seems like there's quite a bit more people than passing away. But then you also go look at the facts and stats as well, as that all these corporations, what was the guy named, a Stanford statistician dude who's like a Nobel Prize winner, not just some crazy African lady who's being paid to show up in front of the White House going, yeah, I've been giving up from Houston, and I've been giving it, like, you know, that's just one thing I want to talk about. Remember those doctors that went out and started talking about how, you know, the COVID was like, you know, hydroxychloroquine. Oh, great, this deal just got banned. We just got banned. Great, I mentioned the no name. You can actually, that's not true, because now they're starting to actually administer that drug. Ooh, big surprise. But they were talking about how hydroxychloroquine was actually a good remedy, or could help. At least it could be some kind of clinically viable. And then, like, they brought the black lady out, and then they discredited the whole thing by pointing out her and how she's crazy and how she was like a witch doctor and stuff. Like, if they just didn't bring her out, like, I'm not saying I'm not discrediting her, but like, you shouldn't have brought her out, because you know that people are going to find any little hole in anything you say and try to dig it and try to, sorry, my hands get a little tired there. They will try to find any little hole and just dig it into a damn open mine pit and just make it like as if that's the way they're going to poke holes in your saying. So they shouldn't have brought her out, because there was no one else you could say anything bad about. Because everyone else was like, there was a doctor from UCLA, like accredited, like physician scholar from UCLA, which is a great medical school. Anyways, I'm digressing. I'm not really digressing. We're all sort of jumping off the same topics here. But the long story short is the old people, right? So they've taken away all their freedoms for a disease that is really, of course it affects some of the young people. I'm sure there's going to be anecdotal evidence like my brother Jimmy, whose best friend Martha, whose cousin Ralph, who is 25, ended up dying. Well, hey, spoiler, people die every year from the flu, man. Like young people, more little kids, definitely, statistically speaking, if you want the government approved stats, if you want the government approved, stories, have passed away from the flu, right? But anyways, but our freedoms, man, are they gonna be taken away? Are we gonna get them back once this vaccine is approved, once they say this is okay? Like, for one thing, people have seen it, which you just totally want to give away, a cashless society. That is like the NW, New World Order, Illuminati, conspiracy theory, number one thing that they always talked about. They want to get rid of the money. They want to make it a cashless system. They've done that. Here in Canada, like most places, you can't pay cash now. No one pays cash. It's all just Interac debit and tapping. I looked into it. I was trying to find some info on why the New World Order says that is one of the reasons, like one of the main goals of of people. They want to make it a cashless system. Well, I mean, like a couple things, they can now monitor anyone and anybody who spends money. They know exactly where you are, what you're doing, what you're spending, what you're buying. They know everything about you. I mean, you can, by looking at someone's credit card bills and statements and all their electronic, everything they have to buy electronically, you know everything about the person. You know what illnesses they have, what sicknesses they have, what they like, what they don't like, what they eat. You could tell about their health by their diet, by their groceries. I mean, you go groceries, everything's broken down in every single category, so you know everything about the person, where they go, where they have been. You can track them, you can follow them, and I think there's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories. I'm sure some of you will leave a comment down below letting us know what the real nefarious reasons are for a cashless society. I mean, that I guess is one. It's easier to what's the word looking for? It easier to manipulate. Obviously, if there's no cash, it's all just electronic. It's all ones and twos, ones and zeros. But like I said, my freedoms were taken away. Like, businesses were closed. My wife lost her work. She worked this business for 15 years. She was like one of the general managers. Had a really good living. Was doing really well. Worked really hard. Gave all she did for 15 years. Gave her heart to. I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but she she was broken up. She was cried when she lost her business. Like, she was a family. Shut down, gone. And it's like a really reputable business. Like, it had like 14 or 15 stores, local stores here in BC. They had been in business since the 1960s. Gone. Tons of other businesses, I'm looking around, all shutting down. In the meantime, back to the Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is making more money than anybody. All this online shopping, all these stores, all the mom and pop shops, gone. Only big corporations, only big box stores surviving. They're the only ones that can, are the ones doing business. And it's really crazy, man. Like, it's really crazy. They took away religion. I mean, not that I'm a big religious guy, but I mean, I know there's answers to this, but like, it's okay for like groups of 50 to get together. You're allowed up to, some places up to group to 50, or restaurants and bars can be open, but like places of worship can't be open. Like, I made a video about this before too, about maybe speaking of religion, maybe about a month or two ago. One of the big cardinals, not a bishop, cardinals from the Vatican, wrote an open letter to Donald Trump saying that remember when Donald Trump did that weird thing and walked across the White House lawn and stood in front of the White House and sort of stood there and made a pose with the Bible? Anyways, the Vatican cardinal basically said that Donald Trump is fighting against the evil out here. I don't know. I'm inclined to think that anybody in the politics and all those rich and billionaires are all just part of one big freaking shell game. I don't know. Like, but then, you look at the fact everybody's trying to bring Donald Trump down, even the Jewish people, which is crazy. Like, okay, think about this. The Jewish people are trying to bring Donald Trump down. They hate, like Ethan Klein, for example, on the internet. People who are Jewish people, they hate Donald Trump. He's the most friendly person to Israel I've ever seen in my life. He was the only one, he made peace brokerage in the Middle East. Like, he's like Bahrain and United Arab Emirates and like other countries are going to join in, and like there's like basically peace in the Middle East starting. How long have we been hearing that for? Peace in the Middle East, yo. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You'll say peace in the Middle East. That used to be like a freaking meme before memes were memes when I was a kid in the 80s and 90s. So I don't know. And like the fact that mainstream media is really trying hard to discredit him and get rid of him, except for a few people, but mostly mainstream media really don't like him. Corporations don't like him. Definitely the industrial military corporation doesn't like him. I mean, he like, they loved Barack Obama. That guy dropped more Scud missiles and more bombs on the Middle East than any other president in the history of mankind. I mean, that guy bailed out the banks, then hired the guy that had Goldman Sachs, one of the main people in charge of the whole mortgage crisis that caused the economy to collapse in the was it 15, 14? Don't know, it would have been that long, 12. I can't remember what year it is. Sorry, I'm an idiot. But the whole economy and mortgage crisis, the whole fraud situation, he hired the head guy of Goldman Sachs to be the head of the Treasury Department. Like, that's like basically giving like the guy who made Cuties, the lady who made Cuties, put her in charge of like a daycare. Like, conflict of interest here, dudes. It kind of seems a bit jacked up to me. But the title of the video, we can get our freedoms back. I know I went off, man. I went way off. I had a lot on my mind here, dude. There's a lot to get off my chest. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. Sit down and talk with you. But, like, they've closed businesses. They have basically, here's the thing too, right, about the businesses. You can open, but you're only allowed so many people in the store. You can't operate a business allowing only like 20% of actual, customers in the store. Like, here's the other thing about, like, basically businesses have been cut down to shut down during the least productive time for retail. Christmas season's coming up here, where most businesses make like the large majority of their money. Like, some people make up to 80% of their yearly income in this rush of Christmas time. Almost a lot of retail stores. Yet they have like, parameters how many people allow in their store. Who's going to make all the money? Online shopping, Amazon, Jeff Bezos is going to make all that money. Are we going to be able to open up? Are we going to have cash again? Are we going to have cash? Like, I don't know, man. Like, this vaccine is coming. Like, is it actually going to, like, are they actually going to give back our freedoms? Are they going to give back our freedoms that they took away? The countries they destroyed, the economies destroyed. Like, another thing too, here's the thing, like, what really cracks me up is this too, right? Every single day you get fed this fear. And this Australian news reporter, I don't know who he was talking about this too, and I'm going to elaborate on that. Every day you get fear. Here's these numbers. This many people die, this many people sick, this many people sick, this many people sick, this many people sick. Like 10 times as many people die every day from cancer. In Canada, 230 people a day die from cancer. Do you know how many people died in the last week from coronavirus? 20. In the entire country of Canada, 20 people. They don't like hit you with the gloom of like, 50 people died today of car accidents. Like, they don't, they but the COVID every day. Oh my God, 500 new cases. Like, fear, 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 fear. It's just really weird. It's really weird, man. More people are dying from opioid overdose here in British Columbia than coronavirus by far. We're having like 7 people a day who are dying daily from opioid crisis, like people overdosing on fentanyl and crap like that. But like, what are they doing? Not really. Like, if you really wanted to save people, like really cared about people's lives, shut down every fast food restaurant. You can't sell pop anymore. Can't sell liquor. You can't sell Cokes and Pepsis and caffeinated, any kind of pop. No energy drinks. Those things. Damn, dudes, my battery died while I was talking, so I have to stand here while I charge and dock and finish this video. So I talked too much. I think I continued on long enough. I probably talked you to sleep. But long story short, it just smells. It all smells real funky to me, brothers. It all smells. Something ain't right. Something just ain't right here, dudes. It really isn't. So, hope you enjoyed the video. I made thoughts. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, smash the like button. Woo woo. And last but not least, most importantly, stay black. Question authority. High grade. Shit. Ability moves hard to bring control. Judges trust him. More for loud. Effect. Mistake. I'll really hit her. Fact. Bang. Down.